Hello everybody and a very warm welcome to the channel, and welcome to a short video in Microsoft Flight Simulator taking a look at the newest release of the new fly-by-wire Vnav system. Now of course this is in the development mode, as the experimental mode has had it for quite some time now. Now this is a lot of hard work done by the fly-by-wire team, but I must point out it's not perfect, as this is the first stage in the Vnav system. But it is usable. In fact, I actually found it pretty good because I've been using it for quite some time now. So in this video we're going to show you how it performs in the climb mode and also in the descent mode. Now there's lots of different modes that the Airbus can actually fly in, and if you don't understand these modes they can be quite tricky and things can go wrong really quickly. However, you may think it's a fault with the aircraft, but 9 times out of 10 it's actually user error. So I've been asked by a couple of people, Alan and David, if I could do a short video on to see how the Vnav system works. So sit back, relax, and let's get into it. So here we are, set out for a departure of runway 23 right out of Manchester. What I'm going to talk about first is what you can see on the navigation display when you've popped in your standard instrument departure. Things like little blue arrows and little magenta arrows and magenta circles. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a look at those. But before we do that, we need to give the aircraft some more information how it's going to fly in managed climb mode. And one of the first things we need to do is look at the navigational charts and look at the constraints with regards to flight plan. Go down to the McDo. So you can see the instrument departure that we have on our display. There are some speed constraints, but also some altitude constraints as well. So as you can see from the charts, you have 2,500 on there, 2,500 magenta. Next, 4,000 magenta, and your flight level is, which is a hard level, so you can't go above or below, 5,000 there. Now if we go up to the heads up display, increase the range ever so slightly on there, you can see that the constraints are there. So 2,500, 4,000 and then 5,000. Now if the constraints are not correct on the McDo, that the Vnav and the constraints won't work correctly. So the next thing to do is just pop in the altitude, and as you can see there is an orange dot. That means that the aircraft is in managed climb mode. So let's now look at the navigation display. And the first thing that you'll notice that there's some new information that is being displayed. So make sure you've got your constraints turned on. So what I've decided to put together is a quick reference guide on what all these shapes and arrows mean. So as you can see, these are the level symbols, and then it tells you blue is armed. Top of descent, white is not armed, blue is armed. Start of the climb, so if you're in any constraint and you need to go higher, it will come up with a blue arrow if you have that little orange dot and then you're in the automatic climb detent. Also the little zigzag signs there, the white is only if nav mode is engaged, and the blue one is if descent mode is engaged. The magenta circle indicates the point of which the automatic acceleration or deceleration starts to comply with the speed limit or speed constraints. And the final one is the deceleration point symbol, but we won't see that until we're actually coming into land. So what we'll do is we'll push back, start the engines, take off, and then join me on the climb out of Manchester. Okay, we've just taken off from runway 23 right at Manchester. Now as you can see on the navigational display, we have a blue arrow, which means that's the top of the climb that we've set our altitude to, which is 5,000 feet. As you can see on the PFD display here. You also see 2,500 feet, 4,000 feet and 5,000 feet. Now if we go to the multi-function display, if we change this to 6,000 feet, it won't go any higher than 5,000. Let me show you. So what we can do now is start going into our cruise altitude. So in this case, 260. And as long as this orange dot appears, it will automatically climb once it gets past this constraint. So there you go. Now throttle climb, then we're climbing, and it's going to the altitude that we've requested. If you can also see, there's a magenta dot, which means that we should be around about 10,000 feet, and then that's when the aircraft will increase the speed to cruise level. Now we can set to standard. And it's like this until we reach the top of the climb. I'll fast forward this to when we're about to start our descent and what we need to do to make sure that we're giving the right information to the computer to make sure that we descend nice and easily. Right, here we are, coming up to the top of the descent. That's what that blue arrow is there. So there's just a few things that we need to do to get the aircraft configured for landing, making sure a nice controlled descent into the airport. So now it says Alt Cruise because we've reached the top of our flight level. So let's start configuring the aircraft. Go down to your PFD display and it says enter destination data. You know what to do here. It's no different from what you've had to do before. So let's bring out the flight plan. What we're looking for on here is the actual winds. So go straight down to the bottom and look at the arrival airport information. So as you can see there, the wind is at 090 at 3 knots. 090 at 3 knots. Transition altitude into Belfast is 6,000 feet and the minimums are 468. You would need to look at your Navigraph charts to actually find this information out. Then you also need to make sure that the Vnav works correctly. You need to put in the top of climb winds and you need to also put flight level 100 winds. So the way you do that, go to the init page, go to winds, and then all you put in here is your climb wind, which is on your flight plan. So top of climb, which is 015 at 90 at flight level 260. Pop that in, then pop in your flight level 100. If you go down to the descent page, you'll see flight level there. So all you need to do is 009 at 60. I'll pop in like so. Click on your flight plan, just see where you are. Just keep monitoring it. That is as much as you need to do until you get to the top of descent. Just before the top of descent into Belfast Airport. So here we are back, and we're just about 10 miles away from the top of the descent marker. So what we need to do now is change the altitude to either the landing or the next constraint that's down there. So if we look on the navigational charts, we can see that the VOR is at 4,000 feet, and then we need to go down to 2,500 feet where we'll catch the glide slope. So if we just pop that down to 4,000, Then if we unpause the simulator, you can see the needle coming closer. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you if you actually miss that and what the actual aircraft will do. So now we're past that marker, and you can see on the McDo it says top of descent reached, and you've gone, oh my god, I've missed it. Not to worry, all you need to do, push the button, and then what it'll do is it'll start descending, and you can see the little zigzag line. That means that the actual aircraft will catch up to the actual descent profile at that point. So you've got a little green dot here. As you can see, we're too high because we've actually flown over the top of descent marker. However, that will eventually catch up and it will do a steeper descent. As you can see, the green dot is starting to climb because we're nearly at the little zigzag. And there you go, it's caught up. You can also see on the PFD displays that you have two little magenta lines in here. This is the speed gear. So the aircraft doesn't go too fast, and it will manage the speed also for you to have a nice steady descent into the airport. As you can also see, you also have a magenta dot, unlike before, which is the speed change symbol. So therefore the aircraft will descend, which indicates the point of which the automatic acceleration is going to arm itself. And then a little bit further up, you also have the D symbol in magenta, which indicates the deceleration of the aircraft. And that's it. All you need to do, keep checking the speed, making sure that you're still on profile, the little green dot is in the middle, configure for landing, flaps full, gear down, and it's as easy as that. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you found this video useful. Don't forget to leave a like, and if you're new to the channel, please click on the subscribe button and click on the notification bell so you don't miss any future content or live streams. Thank you again. Until the next time, take care. Bye bye for now.